Success is not built in a single moment, but through consistent effort and collective commitment. That idea captures the essence of our journey. Success shaped by steady effort, teamwork, and trust, and strengthened by leadership that keeps us moving ahead. Before we celebrate, let's pause and reflect on the year that shaped this moment. 2025 has been a year of strong achievements, meaningful progress, and collective growth for NCS. To share the key highlights from the year and set the stage for what lies ahead, please join me in welcoming our Senior Director, Jerry Arul, and our Associate Director, Vinod Kumar, to the stage. Please put your hands together for Jerry and Vinod.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here today, because your presence here tonight truly matters. Because anniversaries like these are not about dates on a calendar. It's about people who shaped the journey. So thank you for being here tonight. We truly appreciate that.
Thank you.
15 years ago, NCS did not start in a boardroom with a 5-year strategy deck, no, not a 5-year plan. It began with an idea in a coffee shop. Just a few of our founders, a conversation, and the belief that if we truly focus on integrity, consistency, and people, we could build something truly meaningful.
And from that coffee shop conversation to where we stand today, the journey has been truly remarkable. Right? What started as an idea became a team. A team became trusted partners, and over time, the trust scaled to responsibility and impact. NCS grew as an organization for the past 15 years. But what truly matters is how it grew. NCS grew with a purpose for all these 15 years.
And that is precisely why 2025 deserves a special mention tonight. It was a defining year. It challenged us, it stretched us, but ultimately it strengthened us. Not just in what we delivered, but how we did, how the team worked together, how we supported each other, and how we grew, professionally and personally. That is important, personally. So instead of walking you all through a timeline of 2025, we chose to tell the story using 3 words that best describe who we are today.
And the 3 words, bigger, better, and together, they are not slogans. They are reflections of your real effort, real outcome of real people. Bigger stands for, or bigger in the sense, our clients, the trust our clients had on us, or the responsibility or the ownership that we had on our customers, and the trust, in turn, the trust that the client had on us. And better in terms of the investment NCS does on its people, right? And together, how we all stand as one team. And now let's go to the first one, bigger.
When we talk about being bigger in 2025, we are not talking about size, we are talking about trust. The trust that our clients have on us, the trust that we have in our people, and the trust in our ability to do things consistently as we scale. Because growth without trust is temporary, but growth built on trust creates responsibility, stability, and long-term impact.
If bigger was all about trust and growth, right, then better is about something even more personal, right? Better is about how that growth translated to care, support, and the everyday experiences of our people, right? In 2025, we made a very conscious decision to look beyond designations, to look beyond deliverables, and focus on what truly improves the day-to-day lives of our people.
So, being better meant investing beyond salaries. It meant asking a simple question: how do we make the workplace more comfortable, more inclusive, and more responsive to what people actually want? One of the clearest examples of this was food. In 2025, we spent 31 lakh rupees on food for our team members. This was not just about meals, this was about creating moments of comfort, connection, and care during the workday.
And what made this even more meaningful is how these food choices were made. In 2025, we introduced polls and suggestion boxes primarily to understand the food preferences across the organization. We asked people what they wanted, we listened to their choices, and we adapted accordingly. This may seem like a very small thing, right? But it sends an important message that everyday experience matters and your opinions are heard even to the smallest detail.
Another important way we focused on being better was through recognition and awards. In 2025, we gave away 62 lakh rupees in recognition and awards. This was not just about rewarding outcomes. It was about recognizing effort, ownership, and commitment. Often the kind that happens quietly behind the scenes. Recognition matters because it reinforces a simple truth. When people feel valued, they do their best work.
Being better also meant standing by our people during some of the key milestones of their lives. In 2025, NCS disbursed 77 lakh rupees as interest-free loans. These loans supported life events such as home construction, purchasing of plots, and even marriages, right? At a time where the market's interest rates are extremely high, this support had a real and tangible impact.
Because these were interest-free loans, there was no added financial burden, no pressure, no documents to submit, no running behind the banks. Just support, trust, and partnership. It reduced stress, it created stability, and it allowed our people to focus on building their futures with confidence.
When we look at all this together, the investment that we had made on the food and the everyday experience, recognizing excellence, and the interest-free loans, one thing becomes very clear. In 2025, we did not just become a better workplace, we became a stronger community. Which brings us to the final part of the journey, together.
As humans, we have become very good at measuring things, aren't we? We measure weight in kilograms, right? We measure distance in what? What do you measure distance in? Meters, correct. And we measure time down to milliseconds. We even have units to measure things as complex as radiation levels, right? But when it comes to togetherness, we have no units at all. And maybe that's because the most important things in our lives were never meant to be measured. They were meant to be felt.
Sport has always been one of the strongest forces of togetherness in our organization, whether it is cricket, football, or table tennis. I can see the pictures there. The amount of involvement and the amount of participation is tremendous. These tournaments are much more than just games, right? These have become moments where the entire organization came together, right? What made these moments even special was, it was not who won or who lost. It was the fact that everybody participated as players, as supporters, and as teammates. The tournaments reminded us that togetherness is not just about playing game, it is about showing up for each other.
And if there was one moment that captured this spirit of togetherness perfectly, it was the journey of our RCB team. Right? On paper, this was not a team many would have picked as favorites. Different strengths, different experience levels, and honestly, not the strongest team on paper. I didn't even think they would win. But what they had was something far more important. They trusted each other, they supported each other, and they played as one unit. Match after match, we saw them come together. People stepped up when it mattered, others backed them without hesitation. Wins were shared, setbacks were taken together. And in the end, the team did not just compete, they won the tournament. That win was not about individual brilliance, right?
Yes.
It was about togetherness, about believing in each other, about proving that when people truly come together, they can achieve far more than what the paper says is possible.
And we have another clearest example of togetherness right here, right now. I honestly can't ask for a better example. People have traveled from Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, and many other places, right? Not because they had to, but because they chose to be here. An applause for yourself. They took time, they made the effort, they showed up to stand together and celebrate this journey as one organization. And if this moment tells us anything, it is that togetherness is not just a theme, it is who we are.
And as we look ahead to 2026, we do so with confidence, not just because of where we are today, but because of how we got here. We know one thing for certain, the best is still ahead of us. Thank you for being a part of this journey, and thank you for together, let's make NCS bigger and better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.